Drop it.
Hello and welcome to Be Real, the Maryland real estate podcast. I'm Michael Becker of Sierra Pacific Mortgage, and as always, I'm joined by
Brad Cox with the Vesta Group of Long & Foster. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing wonderfully, buddy. How about yourself? We have a little bit of a threshold we're crossing.
We've hit our 10th,
How excited he is.
our 10th episode. I'm
Our
so
10th
excited.
episode. It is a
Yes.
milestone.
And
Yes.
doubly excited
Okay.
because we have a guest.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And not just a guest.
Yeah,
Another
very special.
Raider. Go Raiders.
Raiderette.
And a Raiderette.
Raiderette.
Yeah. Shawn Fiedler, who is the owner and operator of Pride and Joy Cleaning. And not only have we known Shawn forever because of high school, Shawn and I actually grew up in the same neighborhood together.
Wow.
Known her forever. I mean, literally forever.
Forever's
Because-
a long
well,
time, pal.
Yeah, but rocks.
Close as you can to get to
I beat
forever.
most rocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Outstanding.
thrilled to have you here, Shawn.
Thrilled to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. So, we're going to get into, in this episode,
What's this episode about?
it's the Homeowner 101 series that we're going to do. We're going to bring that out periodically throughout the year.
Because we've talked about selling, buying homes.
Right.
When you own a home, there's things you need to know.
Right.
and
We
do.
want to make people smart homeowners. So we're
Right.
going to do this Homeowner 101 series because the first day of spring is just around the corner.
Doesn't feel like it.
No, but it's
I mean, we were
just-
so teased by February's niceness
were.
to get hit in the
I mean,
face with
70,
March's
right.
weather.
Yeah.
That's like it is in Baltimore.
It
all the
is.
time.
It is. Wait 5 minutes, Michael. But because spring is right around the corner, we're going to have the Insider Secret Spring Cleaning Tips. And Shawn runs that cleaning company, and holy cow, the work that she does. We've had her come in to do work for some of our clients who've been buying or selling, and it is transformational.
I'm excited.
Yes.
And anyone with OCD like myself
Or me.
would be excited as well.
Yeah. So anyway, Shawn, we're great. We're grateful to you for being here with us and excited to get into the show.
Absolutely. But what?
But before we get into Shawn,
All right, what are you going to talk
we
about?
got to do the rundown. Well, you know what?
You wanted to
Before
talk
we
about
get
what
into
your other
that-
thing you're excited about,
I am so excited about this.
which is
Ted Lasso's back.
that is a great show. There's nothing. It is the most
It's the-
positive show I've ever seen
It's
in my
the
life.
best. It's the best show ever. Come on,
That's saying
face
quite a
it,
lot.
right? It's just like
I don't know,
Arthur.
MASH was pretty damn
Arthur
good.
as a movie,
Yeah.
and Ted Lasso as a TV show.
It's really good.
Shawn, do you ever watch? Have you
I
watched?
love Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Seen the whole first
Right.
season.
All right. So, did you see the new episode yet?
Don't
have
shut
not.
up. I haven't.
not
Don't
gonna
say
talk
anything.
about-
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not-
tell.
But
I like waiting until a few
I'm
come
just
out so I
gonna
can
say-
binge watch a few in a row, right?
yes,
too.
I'm just going to say one thing, and it's the same thing that I said
here we
at
go.
the end of the last season.
Cover my ears.
No,
Okay, go ahead.
I hate Nate.
Oh.
That
You
little
know-
weasel. That little weasel,
Well,
and he's back. But
I haven't seen
that's
anything,
all
and
I'm
I'm
gonna
just going to
say.
make a. Wouldn't it be great if Nate goes full circle
it would be
by the end of the
right.
series?
Comes back into the fold.
Yeah, we'll see though.
That would be a hero's
Well,
journey.
time will tell.
That would
So
be a
10.
hero's journey.
Is it how long is the final season? Is it 10 episodes like most the other two
I
were?
hope so. I don't know. I
guess
don't know
that's
how many episodes.
I
But
like
I know
it
it
to be
is their
longer.
last. It's killing me that it's their last season because it is. It's this beacon of positivity,
It is.
and I love it.
Yeah, but Ted Lasso, as Ted Lasso as the character goes back way longer in the series. He used to do ESPN commercials.
Yeah.
So there's no saying it couldn't be another Ted Lasso, and he doesn't even have to coach soccer, right?
But
It is great. It is going to
Yeah,
be. It is always sad to see a series that you really love end.
and Sudeikis is just phenomenal in that role. He is
He
just
is good in that
so
role.
good. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's get into the rundown, Michael. So
Let's
you're
do
gonna-
it.
You're going to tell us about some mortgage.
I got
news.
some mortgage application news, and it's good news again. For the second week in a row, we've seen mortgage applications increase. The market composite index, a measure of mortgage loan application, increased 6.5% on a seasonally adjusted basis. Purchase index was up 7%.
Oh.
And the refi index was up 5%. I'm surprised. Well,
so
I mentioned something to you
we
earlier,
see a
and I
little
wonder if
rally.
this is happening. We've had a little rally in rates. I'll get into the rate thing, and I'm wondering if people with the drop in mortgage insurance premium on FHA loans,
Right.
which stay tuned to next week's because we're going to talk a little bit about FHA loans next week.
Good.
You like that little teaser?
Thank you. Yep, that's good.
I think that with that drop in the mortgage insurance premium and a slight drop in interest rates, some of that refinance activity may have to do with that. And I wouldn't be surprised to see refinance activity pick up from here, especially if rates continue to rally.
From a streamlined perspective.
Yes,
FHA,
exactly right.
Yeah,
An FHA Streamline, one of the easiest refinances to do out there. No appraisal needed.
Yeah.
Just need to verify your employment, no income verification, as long as the same borrower's on one loan to the next. If you change borrowers, you do have to verify income in addition to employment. But I think that might be part of it. But that survey week was before we saw a big rally in some of these rates. It hit the tail end. This is the week ending March 10th.
Yeah. March
10th was that Friday. You remember what March 10th was? It was the Friday that the second largest bank failure happened.
Oh, right, yeah.
Silicon Valley Bank failed that week.
Right, yeah.
And that's when rates started rallying. They have the rates dropping from 6.79. This is the Mortgage Bankers Association. They have this survey that comes out every Wednesday. I'm reading last Wednesday's survey, but it was dated for the week of March 10th. And they have interest rates. This is an average rate for well-qualified buyers dropping from 6.79 to 6.71. But I would say rates have dropped a little bit more this week.
Yeah,
a little
Mortgage News Daily.
It's mostly, there's some
Friday.
economic. We had a jobs report. It was a little better than expected on the headline, but the unemployment rate creeped up. But then we also had CPI, which was right in line with expectations. Mm-hmm. We saw good numbers on the headline number, but the core inflation number was a little stronger than we'd like. We'd like to see that slow down a little less. But then there were two other reports this week that kind of helped mortgage rates and show a slowing economy. One was retail sales dropped drastically from a 3.2% increase month over month last month to a negative 2%. And this is not adjusted for inflation. So it really,
do we have any internet outages or something? Do people Amazon accounts
everything.
not work?
That's everything. Yeah. And the other one was a producer price index, which is a producer inflation report.
Yeah.
And that tends to feed its way into consumer price inflation or the CPI.
Yeah.
And that was actually negative for the month. So those are encouraging things. But I think the big reason for the rally is this bank issue. Yeah. Right after Silicon Valley Bank failed, right, we had another one, Signature Bank, fail on a Sunday. So this is the second and third largest bank failures in U.S. history.
Yeah.
Last week we had Credit Suisse was in big trouble.
Big trouble.
If the Swiss National Bank hadn't stepped up and said they would be backing them, we'd be looking at trouble with that. And then there's also
they've been declining for years.
Yeah, well they've had their stock price has been dropped for years because there's some question as to if they've made bad investments or not.
Right.
And then there's First Republic, whose stock has really been dropping, but then I think it was 11 or 12 banks stepped up and are going to infuse it with $30 billion. And of course, when this happens, that day that it happened, there was all these little stocks rallied and everybody thinks it's okay. And then you have officials always saying that the banking system is sound. Janet Yellen came out and said that.
Right.
And I'm sure it is in the end, or the Fed will backstop them and the Treasury will help. But I'm also reminded of the subprime crisis and Ben Bernanke saying that subprime was contained. We all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're official, you're going to say everything's fine, even if it isn't.
You don't yell fire in a crowded movie house.
Very well put. The point is, for me saying this, is that markets are concerned about the banking industry. They think the Federal Reserve, a week ago, they were talking about the Federal Reserve, their meetings the 21st and 22nd, it's next week.
Right.
But they were thinking that they might raise rates 0.5% because the economy seemed to do better than they expected between the jobs report and the inflation reports. But this was all before the banking thing. Now they're pretty sure that there's some people saying they shouldn't raise it all, and there's some saying it's going to be 0.25%. I think it'll be 0.25%.
I think it's 0.25%.
But they can hike 0.25%, and I think rates could still rally from here because of this.
Because it's fairly expected.
Well, guess what?
Priced in.
Think about the economy as an overall thing, and bank lending is a big part of that. If bank stress means they get a little tighter on their lending, that means there's going to be less economic activity, and the economy is going to slow a little bit. Right. I think that's what's going to start being priced in. That was my prediction last week, and I wrote that on Wednesday at bankrate.com.
Yep.
we'll see next week when we come on the air.
So far,
I think I'm batting about 80% since I've come on there and doing this.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, nobody has a crystal ball.
Right.
The best you can do is read what's
Magic 8
happened.
ball. I have a magic 8 ball that's often right, but that's about as close.
Well, how many options are in the magic 8
Outlook
ball?
not so good.
Outlook cloudy. So anyway, we'll see. Let's hope that rates continue to improve. It's really slowed down things in the mortgage and real estate business. And, if we want to encourage home ownership, rates being higher make it a little less affordable for a lot of first-time home buyers out there. Why don't you tell us about the local real estate?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Last week we did the month-over-month. So we're going back to the week-over-week now for the last 7 days. So we had, and I'm going to compare these numbers against 2 weeks ago. So we had active listings. We had 318 active listings in the last 7 days. That's up 15.22% from 2 weeks ago.
That.
It's great. We need more inventory.
We definitely need more inventory.
As much as we can
Well,
get.
if rates improve, I think you would see more inventory. We saw it all the time that people who have pretty good rates might not want to sell or be hesitant to sell and move to a much higher interest rate. If they come down a little bit, the benefits of
And we've
moving,
talked about that before, right? I mean, they're golden handcuffs. They're locked in where they are. So
but if there are people who are making that moves because they want to, and
well, there will be that, right? But the real true discretionary, the move.
If they don't
buyers,
have to move.
If they don't have to move, they're not going to move for a
but
while.
if people want to move closer to their jobs,
plenty of reasons why. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what we'd like to see is some of the baby boomers sell their house to add to the inventory out there,
which would be great. Well, you start to see people downsizing. I think we'll start to see more of that. Yeah.
Okay. So
anyway,
318.
318. Yeah.
Up. What did you say? 15%.
15.22%.
Nice.
Yeah. Pending sales up as well from 664 to 757. It's up 14%. Closed volume. We had 422 from 375, so that's up 12%.
Okay.
So days on the market, average, pretty flat, 0.5%.
That's
change.
good. We don't want to see it shrinking a little bit because that tends to be a sign of inventory stress.
Right. Median ticked down about 30% from 15 to 10, but that I'm not really worried about that. Volume's down a lot from 2 weeks ago, but that was because we had those multiple $1 million sales.
I mean, total dollar amount volume.
Yeah, total dollar volume.
Okay,
so
makes sense.
But we're back in line more with where we were. So that's
Sounds
not
like
really
the
a
spring
significant
buying
number.
season has started.
I think it's starting to creep in. Starting to start. Let's get started. Let's start to start.
Let's get this
Let's
started.
think about maybe starting to start. Yeah.
How many times did you say start in the last 5 seconds?
It's a great question. I don't know.
Go ahead.
All right. The number of concessions, because we had more sold, the number ticked up about 13%. That's in line with what we saw.
15% increase in sales and 13% increase in concessions.
Right.
Makes
so
sense.
that's, but the percent of concessions was pretty flat, off by a 1% increase.
We like seeing concessions because, again,
it's healthy for the more normalized market.
First-time home buyer tends to need a little bit of help.
Yeah. Now, the average concession that people got ticked down a little bit, about 8.66% down from 79.75 down to 72.85. But still, we're seeing fairly consistent numbers. I think across the nationally, I think it was about 45%. So we're down a little bit below what the national level is. I think that's indicative of what's happening out west with a lot of the markets out there and some of the price reductions you're seeing out there.
Sure.
They're going to give a little bit more than we are because our market's been more stable.
Places that the property appreciation was crazy. We're seeing a little pullback in pricing.
Yeah.
And I would say the higher price points as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So average list to sold ratio, how sellers are getting, how close they're getting to their list price. We were at 2 weeks ago. We were at 102.96%.
That's because of these auctions,
right? 104.36 this week with auctions included. Strip the auctions out. Again, a reminder: auctions skew the number because they start typically with a much lower sales price and then go up significantly. It can be 2, 3, 4 times the list price. So if you remove those, we went from 96.53% 2 weeks ago up to 98.55.
I'd say Baltimore area realtors are doing a good job setting their prices.
Getting a little closer, right? So, which is good. We're paying attention to what's going on in the market, and the sellers are listening. People are getting the picture. Median sold price ticked down just a hair from 350 to 344, 750. That's 1.5% down. I am going to say that is not indicative of the general market move in this area. Don't look for that to become a trend. 1 week doesn't indicate a trend, obviously, but we really don't see that median price going down in any way. Yeah. And in fact, I would expect to start seeing the median price continue to increase.
It all seems good signs, increase in applications, increased volume as far as sales are.
Things are ticking up. Yeah.
Sales price to list price, a little up a little bit.
Yeah. It's still going to be a little bit of a challenging market. It's still tough for buyers. There's still not very much inventory, and so we're still going to see on those HGTV ready homes, we're going to see multiple a lot of competition, multiple offers. Mm-hmm. Buyers, be prepared for that. Sellers, you're going to benefit from that. The average homes, we'll start to see some of that seller help. So maybe reset your expectations if you're on the buyer side. Try to look for something that maybe, I'm not going to say buy something that's got hair on it, but
No, but budget-wise, you have to look at that, right? You're going to you're going to pay more, a little bit more for a house that's turnkey ready.
And maybe overpay. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. He was talking about a buddy of his who there was a listing out west that was listed for $899 and it went for $1.3 million. $400,000 over.
People have crazy cash just to throw away, don't they?
Right. Well, it's California money.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, they may have cashed in on their sale.
Yeah, absolutely. But the point is, you don't want to have to do that if you don't have to do that. So try to reset your expectations if you're a buyer. Look for maybe the diamond in the rough, and you can probably do a little better.
Think about if you saved money on the purchase, you could always put that right back in your house.
Absolutely. And then see a little more appreciation.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Good information. Thank you.
You're
when
welcome.
We come back for the scoop, we'll be joined by Shawn, and we'll get into those insider secret spring cleaning tips. Be right back.
Try it.
Welcome back to Be Real, the Maryland real estate podcast. I'm Michael Becker of Sierra Pacific Mortgage, and I'm joined by
Brad Cox with the Vesta Group of Long and Foster, and
very
Shawn Fiedler.
Hey, Shawn.
Hey there.
Hey, Shawn. So glad to have you here. So today's scoop, we're talking about the insider secret spring cleaning tips.
This
Shawn,
is part of a bigger thing called
Homeowner
101.
Homeowner 101. We want people to be educated homeowners. We want you to understand the things that you should be doing to maintain your home, keep the value up, and spring cleaning, big part of that.
Well, you're doing this very timely because when this airs or where this drops,
it's going to be
the first day of spring.
The first day of it. Yeah. How about that? Scary.
Shawn, you were telling
like
me
I
first
planned
day of
it.
spring used to be the first day of the year.
First day of the Persian culture's new year.
Well, if you go back to the Julian calendar, first day of year was first day of spring.
Yeah, okay.
It was when we switched to the Gregorian calendar that they moved it to January 1st. But, are you ready to say that? Where does spring cleaning come from? I like what you looked up. Yeah,
it
is.
Word.
Can she?
Cain to Connie.
Yes! That's perfect.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Persian.
First day of spring.
For anybody who is Persian, we apologize if we mispronounced.
Yes, we do. Yes, their new year falls on our first day of spring.
Right.
And spring cleaning traces back 3,000 years to a spring cleaning or a spring tradition called Cain Tahani, which translates into shaking the house.
How about that?
It was believed that sweeping up dust and removing clutter would prevent ill fortune in the coming year.
Interesting.
How about that? Yeah, shaking the house.
But spring
like that.
cleaning goes back 3,000 years. Who would have thought?
Well, right. But you think about it, actually makes a lot of sense because they didn't have heat, air conditioning, things like that. So you're pretty much, that house is bundled up all through
What type
that
of
winter
houses did we
period.
have 3,000 years ago?
Well, right, houses. Okay, so cave.
There's a lot of
whatever
sweeping
it
I
up.
wouldn't say caves,
It
but
was-
maybe mud huts.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
know.
Right, it was a dirt
Right?
floor. It was a
But
dirt
whatever
floor.
it was, that was pretty battened up throughout that winter, right? So get that stuff out of there. That makes perfect sense. All right. Well, Shawn, want to talk to you about some of the things that I think are head scratchers. Sometimes people try and fail to get certain things clean.
There are some things that are much tougher than others to clean.
Absolutely. And I've seen the homes that you've cleaned. I've been the lucky recipient of seeing that happen in a few of our listings when we've had people who've been looking to sell and get their house ready, and also for buyers who have moved in, and the work has just been amazing. I marvel at how clean you've gotten things. So let's talk about some of those things that are really kind of the stubborn things that are hard to get cleaned and get your expert advice. So, all right, my pet peeve is the glass shower walls, right?
Glass shower doors.
Yes, the glass shower doors. I try to keep mine clean as much as possible, right?
It's
Try to
not
do all the
easy.
right things. What's the best way to get them clean, and how do you keep them clean, and how do you keep them clean for longer? What do you got?
So the first thing I would say is don't ever use a scrubbing pad on your glass shower doors. You'll scratch the glass shower doors. It may not happen the first time you do it, but it'll happen the second or maybe the third time. Every time you do it, it's a little another scratch in there. That's something that you definitely never want to use on your glass shower doors. In my many, many years, I've used many concoctions, but I have.
I can imagine.
I've damaged my lungs over 33 years
Oh, sure.
from all the bleach and the ammonia
yeah.
and so I have found some all-natural cleaning products that I like to use weekly from a company called Melaleuca.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I think people are going to really like to hear that it's an all-natural product that's healthier home. So, yeah,
And
Melaleuca.
they're cost-effective because they come concentrated.
Okay.
They come with a bottle. You're only putting a tiny bit of that product into the bottle and then filling up the bottle with water.
All right.
And they work. A lot of times people think all-natural doesn't work.
Right.
And for the most part, that is correct. But with Melaleuca, I have noticed a total turnaround in that concept. I have two products that I like to use in bathrooms, especially for the glass shower doors and the chrome. I like my product to be able to clean everything in that shower. I don't like to bring 3 or 4 different things in.
Yeah.
So I use something called Tub and Tile by Melaleuca and another product called Tough and Tender by Melaleuca in the showers.
They like their teas.
Yes, they do. The Tub and Tile smells kind of medicinal, smells like cleaning solution, but the Tough and Tender smells delicious. It's got an orange flavor to it.
Oh, wow.
And it
Okay.
just, everybody is always giving us compliments about the smell.
Nice.
They're safe for the environment. They're safe for your lungs and your hands. They're safe for well and septic.
Oh,
So
well, that's
that's
good too. Yeah, well and
Something
septic.
you need to keep in mind.
Excellent.
So-
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, so let's stay in the bathroom.
Okay.
So, those really tough stains that show up around the drain. Sometimes I don't
Or
know
in the
if
corner,
it's,
it depends on
yeah,
where-
whatever. But like those, what are they mineral deposits? Maybe
imagine.
because it's drip, drip, drip kind of thing. How do you get those out?
Well, it depends. Mineral deposits are it's all different. If it's orange, it depends on the color of the stain.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have those orange
It
ones,
does.
so here I'm ready.
It
Let's-
depends on
Yeah.
the color of the stain. If it's orange, it's iron.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's green, it's lime.
Okay.
If
Well,
it's
that's kind of good. Green
Gray,
lime.
right? Green
Can
lime,
remember
orange,
that.
iron.
Yeah.
If it's gray or black, It's mold.
Yeah.
But if it's gray with white, it's usually a calcium mineral deposit that has a ridge. A lot of times where water pools in a tub, you'll get a ridge around where that water pools because that water dries and leaves a ridge there. So there's different things that you can do for that. If it's orange or green, I would suggest that you go to any Home Depot or I don't know if it's sold at Lowe's, but I know it's at Home Depot.
Okay.
Barkeeper's Friend Foam Spray Cleaner. It is not Barkeeper's Cleanser.
Okay.
And it's not the soft soap or the soft scrub from Barkeeper's Friend.
Okay.
It is a spray foam cleaner. Spray it on to any lime or any iron. Wait 10 to 15 minutes. Come back and just wipe it out with a Microsoft rag.
Nice.
And rinse it with water. It'll be gone.
Nice.
But if it's a mineral deposit, then you're going to need to use a mixture of Barkeeper's soft soap and Ajax with bleach and some Simple Green. And scrub on that with a...
Or like a special
just
mixture.
Pour a little bit of all of it on.
each.
Okay. A little of all of it on.
Yeah.
Use a microfiber rag. Don't use a scrubby because you're going to scratch fiberglass or glass.
Yeah.
And just rub on that with a little bit of elbow grease and it'll come right out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make a mention that you've mentioned a few products here. We'll put up a couple links in the notes too for people who want to follow up and get, well, what was that name and do we have the spelling right? And so we'll put some links in the show notes for that. All right. So soap scum, similar kind of thing.
So the one thing that I hadn't mentioned when we were talking about the glass shower walls is if you have tougher stains, the best thing that I would say that to use is cleaning vinegar. And a lot of people don't know that cleaning vinegar even exists.
Right, I didn't until you told me about it.
It's not the kind that you put on your salad with oil.
No, it is not to be confused with straight white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. It is a versatile product. It'll tackle just about any job. It'll remove dust, dirt, grime from hard surfaces around your house.
Nice.
The only difference between cleaning vinegar and distilled white vinegar is the levels of acidity. White vinegar is about 95% water and 5% acid. And by contrast, cleaning vinegar is 6% acid and is 20% stronger than regular white vinegar, which means that it can help you power through a lot of tough jobs with less muscle.
Gotcha.
I like that. And because it's vinegar, to your point earlier about it being natural.
It's natural. It
Natural.
won't hurt your
Much less harm.
pets.
It's not loaded with chemicals, no ammonia, no bleach.
And if your pets are around, your pets
That's
get
a huge thing with people who have pets and the way they clean their house. They don't think about the stuff you clean on floors or the chemicals you use.
Yeah.
Dog that licks the floor all day
Or
long.
kids who crawl all over those floors and then put their hands in their mouths.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your shower might smell like a salad for about 15
Only
minutes.
for a day or two until you take the next
All
shower.
right.
But what I do
More
is
pleasant
I
than smelling like me.
what I like to do is take a spray bottle and I fill it 90% of the way with cleaning vinegar. And then I want to squirt a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid in that and just kind of mix it back and forth. Don't shake it because it's going to end up foaming up.
Foamy.
Right. Just, kind of teeter it back and forth. Put your sprayer in there and just spray that on. Let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes. Come back with a microfiber rag and just wash it down and rinse it.
Nice.
And you're good to go.
Very nice.
All right, can I ask, you said something earlier you didn't mention, but to keep your shower doors from getting
Yeah, is there
bad,
anything
there's
we
a
can
choice
put on
of
them?
bathing products you should.
Yes. So I have 2 suggestions to keep your glass shower doors clean.
Yeah.
Use a squeegee every day.
I do that.
I do that.
When you squeegee your shower
Unless
doors.
I'm in a super rush. But yes, almost every day.
Yep.
Let's say 85% of the time.
So when you do that and the water doesn't dry on the glass, you will keep your calcium deposits down and the glass door won't haze. Once you have those calcium deposits on, it is really hard to get them all off.
Yeah.
You may get a section off, but to do a whole door, it'll take a very long
You got to
time.
call Shawn.
So then you got to call me, and you got to pay me for 2 or 3 hours to do one shower door.
Yeah.
So always squeegee your glass shower door. And the other suggestion that I have is to use gel-based body products instead of soap.
Wow. Okay.
Hard soap.
Yes,
Yeah.
instead
Bar
of Dove or Caress or Irish Spring,
Whatever. Yeah.
use a gel-based body product. It will
So squirt instead of whatever.
squirt, pump instead of soap,
Instead
of a bar.
Right.
Let's try to avoid using the word squirt.
I'll try.
On a podcast.
Should I say moist too?
Oh, that's
Everybody
a
hates that
no-no.
word too.
Well, that's when we get cut out.
Nope, keeping it.
So
Moist is a no-no.
when you do that, if you ever want to do a test of that, use soap for a week.
Yeah.
And look at your glass shower door. What's on that door is also what's being left on your body.
Yeah.
You're going to feel cleaner with a gel-based body product, and your doors will look cleaner as well.
I like it.
So
Awesome.
I'm on Sam's Club ordering shower gel now.
Beautiful.
Bath gel.
Can you order extra? It's Sam's
I'm
Club.
going to get a 3-pack.
Great. That means I get one. Awesome.
Well, what flavor do you want?
I'm flexible. Okay, good. All right, how about like grout, right? Because I'm worried about like if you scrub that too much, then you rip it out, and you know what happens with that. Is there something good for keeping the grout clean?
So if you think about it, you're in the shower. It's the same principle. Really, there's no trick.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. If it's orange, you're going to use some Barkeeper's spray foam cleaner.
Yeah.
Spray your grout, let it sit, use a grout brush, scrub your grout brush and rinse it off. Scrub your grout with the grout brush and rinse it off.
Yeah. Okay.
So if it's green, use the same stuff. Barkeeper spray foam cleaner. If it's black or gray, spray Clorox cleanup on it. Wait 10 minutes, come back with a grout brush, go over it and rinse it off. If it's mold, you may have to come back and treat that 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Because depending on how deep that mold has gone into your grout, depends on how many times you're going to need to do it. Or
Right.
maybe you leave that bleach sit on there a little longer.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay.
Fair enough. All right. So, do we want to talk about the? We're still in the bathroom.
The toilet?
The commode.
It's a toilet. Trying to be nice saying commode.
Well.
Yes.
Look, it smells. It has nooks. It has crannies. All that
Let me
kind of
ask you
stuff.
a question. You ever been invited to somebody's house for a dinner party and gone to use their bathroom and their toilet is a mess?
I have.
I have too, and it disgusts me.
Oh yeah.
I'm letting them cook me food.
And
Are you
I've
kidding
and
me?
I've actually gone under their cabinet,
Yeah.
found their cleaner, sprayed it in their toilet, took their toilet
Shawn,
brush,
I didn't go
cleaned
that
their
so but I was
toilet,
tempted. My OCD part.
That's so
then
awesome.
used it, and then went back to dinner.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The rest of the guests at that party, thank you.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right. So it's not the most pleasant thing in the world to deal with. So how do we make it less all that?
So the first thing I'm gonna say is flush the toilet regularly.
Yeah.
If you don't flush after
Yeah.
you use it,
I have a problem with the beach house. My beach house toilets there have rings because they go. You can go a month between being at the house.
correct.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing you can do, I guess.
So there is. You need to take a plunger and you need to plunge all the water out of that toilet, make it dry, turn off your water
While I'm away.
while you're away. Turn off. No, I'm going to
If I'm not there.
I'm going to tell you how to get the ring out.
Oh, get the ring out. Okay.
Yes. Turn off your water and then plunge your toilet so that you get the water away from the ring.
Okay.
Spray it with Barkeeper's soap or spray foam cleaner. Let it sit. And then come back in an hour, spray it again, let it sit, and then come back with the toilet brush, clean it, and it'll be clean.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. If
See
that
that?
doesn't work, get some Barkeeper's soft soap, mix it with Ajax with bleach, and just take a microfiber rag and just scrub all around that ring. It'll come off.
Outstanding.
That's awesome.
The toilets I have there, maybe I'm planning on rehabbing the bathrooms down there, but I wanted that information more for future. You know,
sure.
if I replace the toilets, I don't want them to get stains in it because there are long periods.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine not flushing the toilet. Though.
Well, many
if
people-
you use the toilet, how do you not flush the
many
toilet?
people don't flush, or they have children that don't flush.
I will remember, when the kids were younger, they would forget to flush, and then we'd have to remind them, don't forget to flush.
Right.
Yeah.
So flush.
My wife had a great, oh my gosh, she had the
I have
greatest.
so many things that I want to say, but I have my internal voice saying, don't say
Don't
that.
say that.
Don't say that.
My wife had the greatest going potty song. I'm not going to sing it because I'm incapable of doing it justice, but yes. But the point is, I think it included something about being when you're done. But the point was flush your toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that seems obvious.
So anytime there's sedentary water, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Just like in your showers, where water pools up in the shower pan in a certain spot, you end up with a mineral ridge. Well, it's just like your toilet. If your water is not kept flowing, there's going to be a problem. And, you know, when you're urinating in that toilet and, you know, that sits in the toilet, you're going to end up with a different, not a mineral deposit, but a different deposit in that toilet. So that,
and not a very pleasant odor deposit. Yes.
No.
Right. Good
So
point.
there's really not a trick. I mean, any toilet bowl cleaner and a toilet brush will clean your toilet.
Yeah.
But if your toilet continues to smell like urine, even after you've cleaned it, and you've kept it clean, check your seals. And what happens is that plastic seal cracks, and then water and urine pull up where those seals are, and you're smelling that urine constantly. So.
All right.
All right, can we get out of the bathroom?
Let's get
and
out
go
of
into
the
kitchen?
bathroom.
Get out of the bathroom.
Yeah, let's
Get to
get.
the kitchen.
All right, but you know, kitchens and bathrooms, most important part of the house from
Absolutely.
what people love to see. So let's get into the kitchen. All right. So Shawn, if you get like a stain in a porous stone, is there any way to clean those?
So once, a long time ago, I had a client that had some honed marble countertops.
Okay.
And they had a dinner party, and someone spilled red wine on it.
Oh, I was going to say red wine.
Dark red wine.
The worst.
And did not clean it up.
Oof.
And when I came back that next time that we came, there was a big round red stain deep into this white Carrara marble. And she was just beside herself.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing is, because marble is so porous, we poured Clorox Cleanup, not straight bleach. Don't use straight bleach.
Yeah.
Clorox Cleanup has a soaping agent in it that causes it to kind of foam up a little bit.
Okay.
So we poured the Clorox Cleanup on there, and I just used my hand. I kind of rubbed it around, making sure that it covered the stain. 1 hour later, the red wine was gone.
Wow.
It was, you never knew it was there. Now, there was a dark, wet spot there, but that eventually went
goes
away.
away with time when it dries.
Goes away
Takes
with
a long
time when
time,
it
yeah.
dries.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Clorox Cleanup on like a white Carrara, it'll take any kind of stain out.
So for all you wine lovers out there, enophiles like Michael's a
Ooh.
huge enophile.
I am.
Let me tell you.
You want to hear the wines I drank last night? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yes, probably, but we'll get to that. But if you spill that red wine, not necessarily the end of the world.
Yeah, but clean it up. Don't leave it there.
Well, yeah, right. Clean it quickly. Yeah.
That's one of the things I always tell my kids. If they mess up, instead of hiding it from me, tell me first off.
Because you're going to find it eventually.
You're going to find it, and you got a
And then
much
it's
better
worse.
chance of fixing it or cleaning it up.
Right.
The sooner I know about it.
Yep.
But I will say marble does haze, so you have to be careful.
Yeah.
When you put marble in a kitchen, it's probably not the most friendly, durable
Yeah.
product in a kitchen. Any kind of acid or acidic, like orange juice and hot coffee, will leave a ring, and it'll haze that marble, and you'll never be able to get it out.
Okay.
Okay?
Good. All right.
But granite is hard and non-porous, and I've never seen it stain or haze. There is a really great product out there, though. You can get it at Home Depot, usually in around the plumbing department. It's called Gel Gloss, GELGLOSS, and they make two different versions of it. One is a spray that you spray on, you buff it in, and then turn around and buff it off.
Okay.
Or there is a paste wax, but it's liquid. It's a liquid wax. It's not a paste wax like in a can. It's a liquid wax. You would pour a little on, and you kind of spread it out and buff it in, and then you buff it off. And I'll tell you, it really changes the granite.
Wow.
It gives the granite depth, and it conditions the granite. It's
Nice.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. All right, so you hear these claims, self-cleaning ovens. And I've always been a little dubious about, is
It's
it
nothing
really...
being clean. It just it heats to a super high temperature and bakes everything in there.
Right.
No.
Well, that's what it's. I mean,
It
when I turn it on and do it, it looks like ash, and then I still have to go in and scrape it out.
It does. It burns everything off. It turns to ash. And actually, your self-cleaning mechanism is what I prefer.
Okay.
If someone asks me, "Can you clean my oven today?"
Yeah.
I always tell them, "I'm not. Y'all have to come back and do that." And right before I come back, the night before, run your self-clean. And then you're going to want to leave your house because it heats.
It's super hot if you get anywhere near it.
Well, it's probably going to be stinky.
Up to somewhere around 900 degrees. It smells very bad. It's awful smelling.
Yeah.
So you want to get out of your kitchen because it'll make your eyes water.
Open the windows.
Yeah, open the windows.
Run the fans.
Run
whatever.
the fans. It makes your eyes water. And then when it's finished, it takes time to cool down. So don't open your oven right when the door unclicks or unlocks. Don't open your oven and get anywhere around it with water. Because a long time ago, the self-cleaning mechanism was finished, and I opened the oven, and I had one drop of water that came off of a finger and fell onto the glass door of the oven, and it shattered.
My gosh.
Yes, it's terrible. I've learned so many things, sometimes the hard way.
Yeah.
So don't get near it, with any kind of water. Just let it totally cool. And then all you want to do is fill up a sink with some warm to hot water, a little bit of Dawn, and go in there with a microfiber rag, and all that ash will wipe right out.
Nice.
And your oven will actually look brand new. The only thing I will caution you, do not leave your racks in the oven when you do this, because if you do, most racks are sprayed with chrome to make them look pretty.
You
It will burn the chrome off your racks and ruin the racks to your oven.
Yeah.
So what I normally suggest, and if your racks look terrible, is fill up a nice deep sink with super hot water, as hot as you can deal with to stand it.
Yep.
And you want to before you put the racks in, you want to get some Cascade dishwashing powder.
Okay.
Put about, I'd say maybe a half a cup into the sink, swish it around, put your racks in, leave them in there about 1 to 1.5 hours. You'll come back with a rag or a brush. Most of it will just be gone, but you may have to rub a little bit on those racks. They'll look like they were brand new.
Wow. Okay.
The dirt just falls right off of them.
Great, but don't leave them in during
Do not
self-cleaning.
leave them in the oven.
Right. What about the top of the stove, right? Like I've walked into houses before where we show the house. People like to cook, and I get that. But like the grease all over the top of the stove. I see that so
the
much.
Last 3 VRBO homes I've rented.
Yeah.
I've had to clean the hood when I got in there because it was just greasy.
Oh,
Even when they pay for somebody to clean.
Nobody cleans the hood. Nobody cleans the hood. All right. Tell us about the hood. What do you do?
So most hoods are stainless. If they're very bad, what you want to do is you want to get up there with some Dawn dishwashing liquid and hot water.
That's exactly what I did.
Dawn dishwashing and hot water, because it's grease, and Dawn just cuts the grease.
Okay.
Once you get the grease off, then what I do is I use Barkeeper's Friend, the liquid soap. And I wet a rag and wring it out, and then I pour a little bit on my rag, and you go up with the grain of the stainless.
Yeah.
And you just use a little elbow grease, and you go back and forth with the grain.
Yeah.
And it will totally shine that hood up like it was brand new. And then if you go and touch it, it won't leave fingerprints on it. And this goes for refrigerators too.
Nice.
It won't leave fingerprints, and it also is a deterrent for that grease buildup for the future. It'll take longer for it to get really dirty.
Nice.
So,
I like that. That's a great tip.
But those stove air filters that you were... That's what I thought you were talking about.
Right. In the vent hood.
In the
You're
vent
supposed
hood.
to
filter.
replace. You can actually clean them, but you can.
Well, but nobody cleans
No, nobody
those.
does, no.
Yeah.
Well, you can clean them, but most
You got to go
people...
outside to do it usually.
No, put them in your dishwasher and put
Makes-
two
they
pods.
fit.
Put 2 pods in the dishwasher with really greasy ones. Run your dishwasher on a, sanitary cycle or whatever, a pro wash.
Yeah.
And they will come out looking like the day you bought the stove.
Holy cow. How about that? Hopefully you have a good dishwasher.
Yeah.
All right. So you mentioned stainless appliances and keeping those clean. And would the bar, you love these barkeeper
I do.
products. That's great. Mm-hmm. Would that deal, like we see these streaks on the front of the dishwasher a lot. Mm-hmm. Would that address that
Yes.
too?
Yes.
Okay.
So not all stainless is created equal. It's there's just stainless is different.
Yeah.
Don't use stainless steel cleaners. They make it worse. Every time you use stainless steel cleaner, you're basically putting like a mineral oil on the stainless, and then every time you touch it, you can see the fingerprints. So, and then if somebody has grease on their fingers and they touch it, it leaves even more different fingerprints. So my go-to is Barkeeper's Friend soft soap.
Yeah.
Wet your rag, put a little bit on there, swish it around, and then go with the grain all over the refrigerator or all over the front of the dishwasher, back and forth with the grain. When you're finished, rinse your rag out totally, or use a brand new rag, something that doesn't have the cleanser in it, and then go back over that to get all of the
Dry or
cleanser
wet.
off. And then you can use a dry rag to dry it.
Okay. So
with
wet
the grain.
rag first, then dry.
Yes.
All right.
And do you know when you polish silver how you get almost like a black residue?
You're assuming I polish silver, but sure.
So if you polish silver, you get a black residue on your rag from polishing the silver.
Yeah.
It's the same thing on your stainless steel refrigerator or your front of your dishwasher.
Really?
When you use the cleanser, you're going to get a black residue on the rag, and that's the dirt coming off. Once you're finished and you rinse it well and then you dry it, you'll be able to go up to it. You'll be able to put your hands all over that all over the refrigerator and the dishwasher. You will not leave fingerprints on it.
Awesome. I love that.
Yep.
I love that. All right. So that's appliances, that's countertops. Let's move farther south. What about the floors? Like
That is
hardwood.
south.
It is, yeah. How about the hardwood floors? What do you, in every listing description, you see the hardwoods are described gleaming hardwood floors, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, sometimes they're gleaming, sometimes they're not. But how do you get them gleaming?
So hardwood floors on a whole are the most important part of any house. If you clean your floors, your house looks clean. You could leave everything else dirty, but if you clean your floors regularly, your house will be cleaner and it will look clean in a pinch. Okay, so start by sweeping all of your hardwood floors. You got piles everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you like Swiffers for that? Or
I do not.
Okay.
I'm not. I will Swiffer, but only after I have swept everything, vacuumed everything. Then I'll take a Swiffer around to get the fine dirt that I missed with the broom.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So sweep all your floors, vacuum up all your piles. Then I use a big square mop with a terry cloth head that fits that mop. And you want to go to Baltimore Floor Company on Green Spring Drive in Lutherville.
Yeah.
And they have a product there made by a company called Basic Coatings. Mm-hmm. It's called Squeaky. It's blue. It smells like alcohol.
Don't drink it.
No, don't drink it. You'll cut it with water. They give you a bottle that it comes with, and you'll pour so much into the bottle, and then you'll cut it, and you'll spray that on your floor, and you will mop that in, and you will just be so surprised how much dirt that'll get off your floor. So Baltimore Floor Company makes you use this system if they install your floors. You use this system or you void their warranty.
Wow.
It really works.
Sounds like it.
And if you've ever walked into the front of Baltimore Floor Company and saw the beautiful floors that are in the the customer waiting room. They clean those floors with this product. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Very nice.
So
sounds like a field trip.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not far from here.
It's not. All right. So how about the carpet?
Carpets.
Right? Yeah. It's tough to keep it clean.
It is.
Yeah. So what's your best advice there?
So if you're going to clean a whole carpet, a room is wall to wall.
Yeah.
Just invest in a Bissell. Just go get a rug cleaner.
Yeah.
And do it yourself. But the product that you use in that Bissell is the key. There's a product out there called Protec. It is not cheap, but it works.
Okay.
You can go to protec.com. It's PROTEK.com.
Okay.
Okay, and you must dilute this product. Okay, if you don't dilute it, you're going to ruin your rug.
Okay.
Okay, so follow the advice on the back of the bottle.
Don't think it.
Don't
If
just
I
dump
use
it
twice
in.
as much, maybe it'll clean it twice as
Extra.
well.
Yeah,
Doesn't work out that
no,
way.
that's more is not better.
Right.
Yeah.
It will clean up blood, wine, urine. I mean, it will take anything out.
Wow.
We had a client that pushed down the stairs a big tire, and
All the
the tar from the tire
Right.
put big black streaks all the way on the corners of the step,
Wow.
all the way down, and she had white carpet. And we used this Protec on those tire stains, and you couldn't even tell that it ever happened. Wow. So
people do some crazy stuff.
they do.
Right? I mean, it's
They
job
do.
security for you, Shawn, right? Which is good.
I
but-
love it.
All right.
I love it.
Well, while we're on the topic of carpets, you see a lot of variation in those vacuum cleaners out there. Some of them are $69, or some of them are $1,000. What do you think? What's the?
If it's $69, you run.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually, if it's got a high price tag, it's because it works.
Yeah.
And because you can take it apart, clean it out, put it back together, and it will continue to work.
Yeah.
So vacuums don't work when you don't maintain the vacuum cleaner.
Right.
My Dyson, you have to. People forget those filters in there. You take them out. They give you instructions on how to clean it and put it back together. If you don't, it won't clean as well.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So in my 33 years, I used a vacuum called a Clear Track.
Okay.
It was the best vacuum I've ever used, but it was one pass and it was up.
Wow.
But it was heavy. It was 35 pounds, and up and down stairs with it took
tough.
its toll on me.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
So I switched. I went on the hunt for something lighter that would get under almost anything, because the Clear Track did not get under almost everything.
Okay.
So
you need something that goes low.
really low.
Low profile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I found something called a Shark Duo Clean. It's a stick vacuum.
Yeah.
You do have to empty it quite often, because if it's
Stick,
a dirty room.
meaning, is it also battery powered?
No,
then,
it's
or is
not.
it-
No, it's a plug-in. I
Okay.
don't use anything battery powered. I would be going
You'd be
through
out of luck.
35 battery packs a day.
Sure.
I
Right.
needed to plug in.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for something with a really long cord, so I could go from room to room to room and not have to keep replugging.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll invent something, but you know.
Great idea. Okay.
So.
All right.
But yeah, Shark Duo Clean.
Shark Duo Clean. All right. Well, listen, when we come back, we're going to talk about some other strategies and give you some more advice on keeping your home clean. This has been really helpful. It's kind of eye-opening for me on
taking
some of
notes
these
right and
ideas.
left.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when we come back even more, be right back.
Try.
Welcome back to Be Real, the Maryland real estate podcast. I'm Michael Becker of Sierra Pacific, and as always, joined by
Brad Cox with the Vesta Group of Long and Foster. And then we have with us our special guest, Shawn Fiedler.
Raiderette.
What? Raiderette, yes.
Lock Raven class of '83.
Clay, yes.
Go team.
Absolutely. Go Raiders. Yeah.
40-year reunion coming up.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're ready for that. That's just insane. Michael, you were on your phone a lot when Shawn was.
Well, Shawn's giving out a lot of good information. I was busy ordering from Home Depot and Amazon.
Yeah.
I think one of the things is going to get delivered tonight. It's amazing. Isn't it crazy how
It is
fast they can
pretty
deliver
amazing.
stuff?
It is pretty amazing. But you're right. I mean, I want to get my list together.
Sunday is my cleaning. I'm the one who cleans the house
Yeah.
because no one does it as well as I in the family.
Yeah.
And I want to be ready.
It-
I do like cleaning the house. I
gonna
love
jump on
clean.
it.
I don't like doing it, but I love it after it.
You're going to have to report back how much easier it was now with the right stuff.
Well, I won't have some of the stuff.
Okay.
But I will report back once
All
I
right.
have.
Good deal.
I can't wait to hear.
Bartender's friend. And
Yeah, right?
Bartenders, right?
Gel gloss.
Gel gloss.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff. All right,
Great
well, all right. So Shawn, let's roll right back into this. So we talked a little bit in the beginning and in the first session about the kind of the origins of spring cleaning, but why does it really exist? Why? I mean, people really, it's a thing, right? So why do you think that happens?
Definitely is a thing. I mean, I think, in my opinion, people are definitely more sedentary in the winter.
Yeah.
They do less. They've accumulated so many things from Christmas and months of hunkering
Yeah,
in.
that's true.
And when warmer weather hits, most people do get motivated to clear out, open their windows up,
Yeah.
clean up what's been locked in for the last 3 to 4 months.
Yeah,
Or that
that's
stale
right.
smell.
Yeah. During the spring, summer, fall, early fall, if I can get out and kayak as much as I possibly can, I'm out of the house all the time. In the winter, it's not an option. I'm tied up, and I'm not a big skier, and my wife's a figure skater. She takes care of the winter sports, but I can do without. So you're right. I mean, I'm holed up as much as I possibly can be for that couple of months, and so yeah, time to just shake it loose. Shaking the house, right?
Shaking the
Break in
house.
the house.
Yes.
Way to
All right.
bring that back in, Brad.
Yeah, well, All right. I
You're
remember
professional.
things every once in a while. All right. So let me ask you. You want to do these deep cleans? There's some things that are obvious. We've already talked about the kitchens, bathrooms, things like that. You think of anything that's often overlooked? Like what kinds of things people don't pay attention to that maybe they should?
Especially if you have a dog underneath of your couches.
Oh.
I actually move my couch totally out,
Yeah.
and I sweep and vacuum and wash the floor down on my hands and knees.
Our dog is a huge shedder.
Well, and the thing is, though, is when you walk in your house, you create an airflow in your house where hair will get trapped under things. And when you move them out and
Not my
see
hair.
the amount...
No, my kitchen
not
table
my
is
hair.
one place that it always, because of the airflow, the way it does, it always
Yeah.
tends to congregate underneath that kitchen table.
Right.
The deep clean, every 2 weeks I do a harder cleaning, and then once a week I clean everything. I usually just dust, but I have a little Dyson handheld, and I
Yep.
suck all the hair up then. But when I do it, do exactly what you said. I move everything out,
Yeah.
and clean all the hair out.
I mean, once a year, I actually take apart my television console,
Oh my goodness!
everything out of it. I wash everything off that's in it, like the books. I have some books in there and
Yeah.
some tchotchkes, but I move the actual console out and clean the floor underneath of it.
Where all those wires and
The
things are.
wires, and it's like the laws.
I know,
you can't-
it's gross
right.
behind
Like
there.
the lost
yeah.
place of misfit toys down in there. It's terrible.
Right?
So, like underneath of couches and TV consoles, take a cobwebber and go around into the corners between your walls and your ceiling. In every room in your house, you would just die if you saw all the cobwebs that you haven't noticed.
Michael has a thing about cobwebs
Bothers me.
in lights.
Light fixtures.
Remember that? Yeah, we were talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
that in another
Bugs.
episode. Yep.
If I'm over somebody, if I can see it, why can't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? You walk to the house.
Another thing that would totally gross you out if you did it
Yeah.
is go in your kitchen
Uh-huh.
and go to your bottom cabinet and take all your pots and
Oh,
pans
my goodness, I
out of
know.
the bottom cabinet and wipe out the bottom cabinet, the grime that comes out of there because it's so near the floor. And people, I'm telling you, the airflow, the walking in there, all the airflow is like from the knee and below. And it's the bottom cabinet of your kitchen cabinets is always disgusting.
Wow. Okay.
How about a refrigerator?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I clean
Pete,
mine
I
out
do it all-
weekly, so it's never
Well,
bad.
see, there's so many people who never, they just put stuff in and
Yeah.
never. I take it apart.
Yeah,
and
take it
clean
apart.
and
Yeah.
clean it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all on the same OCD level.
The other thing that that the one thing that just bugs the heck out of me is the vents. I see, and the exhaust vents.
Yes,
in the
that get
bathroom.
furry.
Yeah, yeah. That drives. I walk into all these houses. I see these things all the
Get
time.
a handheld Dyson and you can reach it, with a little.
Dude, the one that completely escapes me is the ceiling fans. Just seeing so much layers of dust. And we talked about it in the other episode. We talked about preparing your home for sale.
Yes, we did talk about that.
The extension that you can put on
the Swifter. You have
on the
I have
Swiffer.
I have a Swifter.
It's
That's how I get to it.
Just comes right off. Yeah, it doesn't take much.
So, but definitely once a year, because I know that it's so easy to just take one of those mops that I told you about and use a little bit of that squeaky that Mike just ordered online. But once a year, you really need to get on your hands and knees, put on a pair of knee pads, get on your hands and knees, and wash your floors on your hands and knees. And when you do, wash your baseboards. If you wash your baseboards, you will just die when you see all the dust on your baseboards. Oh. So, yeah.
I believe it.
Most of the time, I do my floors on my hands and knees.
Yeah. It's the best way.
Maybe Mike is the Felix.
I am.
And you're the Oscar.
How about we're both? I'm a little OCD
or
too.
you have two Felixes here.
Yeah, I'm a little OCD too. All right, so let me ask you. Somebody's got to clean their house on that weekly basis, right? It's how long should they plan to spend? You know, people worry about, well, I've got to go here, I got to go there, I got to fill my schedule, I got to, right? You got limited time. How long does it really take to deal with cleaning the house every week, average size house, and is there some kind of, hey, here's your plan. Follow this. You can be more efficient.
I would say it does depend on the size of your house. I mean, I have a lot of houses that are really large.
Yeah. Shawn's cleaner than the stars. I don't know if you knew that, Michael.
I have some high-end.
She does.
Definitely some high-end people.
Yeah.
And my houses are large. But I would say if you have a medium-sized house, you're looking at 2 to 3 hours a week.
Okay.
Depending on the size of your house and the number of baths. But the bottom line is focus on your floors. If your floors are decluttered and clean, your house will appear clean.
Yeah.
And it will stay cleaner longer because all of your floor dirt ends up on your countertops. Because it's all dust and airflow. Just remember that. When you're walking in your house, you're always creating an airflow. And everything that's on your floors will be on your countertops.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, but I would say 2 to 3 hours a week.
Okay, so let's say you don't have 2 to 3 hours. Let's say you're a busy parent and you've got your kids are in 800 different sporting teams and you're running from here and there and crazy. Let's say you only got like 30 minutes.
Clean your floors.
Sweep
your floors. Suck up your piles.
Yeah.
If you want to run a Swiffer, and then get a bucket of water, and you can either get on your hands and knees. If you do your hands and knees thing, you only need to do that maybe once every 3 months.
Okay.
All right. And then other than that, use the mop that I told you about that you can get at Baltimore Floor Company. They'll sell you a whole system.
Yeah.
The mop, the squeaky, the mop head, and the bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. You can use that, and you can use that on tile, wood, anything you want to use it on.
Yeah. So I have another question. In the first half, we talked a little bit about this, I think, and there was a product I think that you mentioned. Remember how Siri, you used to be able to say to Siri, hey, I need to find a body. Remember that? And then it would give you all these different sites where you could hide your body. I'm curious about the blood stains and things, right? I mean, things happen, accidents happen, and you can get blood carpet, you can get blood on furniture. My dog will sometimes, if he's outside and has cut his paw or something, and then don't notice it, and then he gets up on the sofa where he shouldn't be, but he always goes anyway, and then he gets the blood on the...
Correct.
Right? So what's the best for that?
So I had mentioned a product earlier called ProTek, and you can go to, it's PROTEK, and you can go to protech.com. It's not an inexpensive product. It's expensive, but it's worth it. You'll have it for a long time because you do mix it, and you're going to cut it with water. And that's the product I said, don't try to use this full strength because you'll ruin things. So I have these clients that I walked in. This was just recently, actually. I walked in and the wife came over to me and said, we had a little mishap. a couple of days ago, or actually it was 2 weeks ago. She said, we had a little mishap right after you left 2 weeks ago. She said, my husband got up out of bed. He stumbled. He went to go to the bathroom and he stumbled and he cut his leg, didn't know it. He bled pretty bad all the way up to the bathroom. He bled all around where his feet hit the floor out of his bed, and then bled all the way up to the bathroom, and then came out of the bathroom, walked back down the hall, didn't know his leg was bleeding. All the way back down the hall, he bled, and then sat on the side of the bed for a minute. He was bleeding all over the floor. Then they woke up in the morning and they had to get on a plane and go somewhere for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So they did not have time to clean this up.
Yeah.
So not only did he bleed all over the carpet, and it was a wool carpet.
Ooh.
So you don't wet a wool carpet. It'll ruin the carpet.
Okay.
They leave, they go on a trip, and they come back, and I come back into their house, and she says, I don't know what to do. She said, should I call a carpet cleaner? And I said, let me go take a look at it first.
Yeah.
I said, let me see what I can do. So I went up to look at it. Now, this is 2-week-old blood that has soaked in, dried up.
Right.
And it's on a wool carpet. And I got my Protec out, and I mixed it up in a. She actually found a little bottle for me because I left her some. And I mixed it up proper, and I sprayed it on the blood spots, just sprayed that. And then I put a microfiber rag down, and I stood on the rag. And I'm not kidding you guys. All of the blood came out.
Wow.
You can't even tell that there was anything that
This
happened.
is the miracle cure. It's the miracle
she couldn't
cleaner.
believe it. She couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I mean, she just was like, I am so blown away.
You just earned every penny that they paid
I
you
earned
at
every
that
penny.
moment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Unfortunately, there was no tip that day.
But that's great. Wow. All right.
So Protec.com.
Yeah, Protec.com. Protek.
Mike already ordered it.
Yes. Right.
Not that fast, but it'll be coming.
Yeah. And again, we're going to put these products that Shawn's mentioned in the show notes, so you'll have a record of everything, and you can order to your heart's content. We are not affiliated with or sponsored by any of these companies. We don't earn anything. We're just asking.
Who's probably come about, you figured out the products that work through trial and error. Not
Trial and error, 33 years.
Yeah.
Right. So no affiliate compensation or anything like that for this. We just want you to have the great information. All right, Shawn, you're in and out of these people's homes in all areas of them. I'm guessing you've probably seen some crazy things.
Oh my gosh.
I don't want to go.
You have no
crazy.
idea.
I guarantee you.
I don't want you to violate anybody's confidence, obviously, but is there anything kind of, just amusing or shocking or surprising or whatever that you could just kind of share that you've come across? Because I always see very interesting things when I show homes, and so you're in the same kind of, you get to see a lot.
So I really can't betray any confidences right now.
Yeah,
I really can't.
Yeah.
But I will put this in some general terms. From employees calling me from jail to some of the crazy excuses that I have gotten of why I can't come to work, to some of the things that I have found in children's rooms that I really don't think would be appropriate to repeat in this podcast.
Okay.
These boys' rooms?
Girls' rooms.
Oh,
Wow. All right, then.
To houses being haunted.
Haunted.
And I mean, I'm talking like some really crazy things that have happened to us in homes that we're like, oh my gosh.
Did you ever clean a house on Powers Avenue? You know where I'm going with that. There's definitely an evil spirit in that house.
There is an evil spirit in that house.
That's some bad juju.
Good
Bad
Lord.
juju. Yeah.
But I mean, I have had it's been 33 years that I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And I work for some of the most influential people in Baltimore. I have worked for Orioles. I've worked for Ravens.
Yeah.
I have a Nobel Prize winner.
Neat.
I've got a lot of people.
We're going to win the Nobel from this podcast, I'm sure.
Nobel Prize in podcasting? Is that a new?
It's got a new category.
I've gained a lot. All my experience I gained as I went along. I knew nothing when I started. I just went out. I bought some pine saw, some brooms, a bucket, and I was in business, and it was over time. I gained all my knowledge over time.
Yeah.
I'm a coating specialist. I can tell you anything about what to put on what to use on marble, what to use on quartz, what to use on, I know, all of that, but I'll tell you, I'm going to write a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have actually, I'm probably going to save the show notes from this because they'll probably be the start of my book.
That's not a bad
and I'm
idea.
going to call my book Other People's Dirt.
There you go.
The first page of the book, when you open the first page, it's going to say all names have been changed to protect the guilty.
Because they are guilty.
Because they are guilty.
It's real dirt.
And I
Oh,
have
that's funny.
some people, they say to me all the time, Shawn, I better not read about myself in your book because they know that I'm going to write a book.
Yeah.
But I have one client who is trying hard to get into the book.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
He does the craziest things to me.
On purpose?
On
Just
purpose.
nice.
Just to try. And he'll say to me,
Have
Did
I
I
made
make
the
the
book?
book? Did I make the book? So
That's awesome.
Without giving away all my fun stories, I will abstain from telling anything.
Understand.
And because if I do, you won't want to read my book. But
There you go.
Hey, as soon as it hits,
Yeah.
I'm the first person to buy it.
Other People's Dirt.
That sounds awesome.
It'll be out there.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Shawn, I think this has been
Been great.
it's been fantastic. I'm gonna ask you. You've dropped a lot of knowledge in here, and obviously acquired over years and years and years, and the experience has been invaluable. Somebody might want to reach out just to ask you a question. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure you're pretty busy, right? So I'm not sure they can even hire you because there are times when I call you and you're too busy. But I get that. But if somebody has some questions, is there a way they could get in touch with you just to reach out, ask a question? Yeah.
Sure. They can always email me at shawnee777@aol.com, or please feel free to call my cell phone or text my cell phone at 410-294-5114.
Okay, and Shawnee, SHAWNEY,
Shawnee.
777 at AOL.com.
I have an AOL email account.
I thought I was the last person with an AOL.
I was gonna say, we're like old school.
I am old school.
You two, you gotta get into the 21st century.
No.
I have a Gmail account, but everybody knows the AOL account.
Okay.
I do. I have a Gmail account too, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
I email you at SPMC, so I don't.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Anyway. All right. Well, Shawn, thank you. It's been great spending this time with you. Always great to hang with you, but this was super illuminating, and I hope everybody gets a lot out of it. I know we did, and Michael's obviously got his list already ordered, so
This was fun. This was fun. You guys are welcome. I had a good time.
Awesome.
I'm happy to come back on anytime.
All right.
Fantastic. Well, we'll take you up on that. Thank you, Shawn. All right. So when we come back, it's the unreal and the spotlight. So we'll be back in just a minute.
Try it.
And we're back to Be Real, the Maryland Real Estate Podcast. I'm Brad Cox with the Vesta Group of Long & Foster, and joined by the stellar
Still, Michael Becker of Sierra Pacific Mortgage. Thanks so much for those kind words. Brad,
Yes, sir.
For the unreal,
Yeah.
we talk on the podcast and to each other
Yeah.
about a lack of houses being built. It's one of the reasons for the shortages of inventory.
Big problem.
One of the issues, obviously, people talk about building regulation or codes, and a lot of builders complain about that.
It's a challenge. The cost to put a shovel in the ground is
Correct.
prohibitive for many
Prohibitive.
reasons.
Right. But the other issue at hand is something that I hadn't thought about, and I saw a story that made me think about it, is the U.S. needs 500,000 construction workers, and nobody seems interested.
Wow.
There seems to be a decline in the trades. It's been talked about. We
is.
got Mike Rowe, our buddy,
Yep.
from
Absolutely.
this area.
Yeah. Yeah. Maryland born and raised.
Yes, sir.
Rogers Forge.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And he talks about that all the time. It's not just construction workers, but HVAC, plumbers, electricians.
Yeah.
They're all. It seems to be a lack of it, and the concern is those who work in those industries are aging,
Yeah.
and we're not getting replacement workers for it.
It's
This
gonna be a problem.
despite pretty good wages.
They can make great money.
I mean, when you look at studies of college-educated people and those without it, there does tend to be a difference in lifetime earnings.
Potential.
But it doesn't mean you can't have a great life and learn a trade.
Absolutely.
And I blame it on the push for everybody having to get a college education.
It's true.
There's no vocational training in high schools these days, or very little, it seems like, unless it's a specific high school for that.
Right.
Like we took metal shop,
Sure.
electric shop,
Wood shop.
and wood shop.
Yep.
3 different types of shop. I don't think my kids didn't take any kind of shop
No.
in high school.
No.
Did yours?
No, absolutely not.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's going to be reflected in what happens with. I mean, you can't find anyone.
I think a politician who stressed this would have a winning strategy.
Could be. It's a good platform.
It's something to talk about.
Bring back the trades.
Mike Rowe can't do it alone. He needs somebody else there.
We're going to need it. And I, to your point about the income, I mean, I worked for a software company, and we worked with a lot of large electrical firms, like electrical utilities. And they were talking to me about how they couldn't find linemen. Just nobody wanted to do the work. You're outside, and I get it, but they said they pay them 6-figure incomes.
Well, can I throw something out at you?
Sure.
Do you guys remember Pat Brown? He was a year older than us, went to Lock Raven.
I do. Sure.
Yeah.
So we were at a birthday. He lives in North Carolina, but he came up for another friend of ours, Scott Emmerich, who also went to Lock Raven for his birthday party. And I was talking to his 2 sons. They're both in the trades.
Huh.
One of them was a lineman.
How about that?
And he was making a ton of money. He was telling me all the money, the overtime. When he gets in a car to go somewhere,
The clock starts.
clock starts the second you get in.
Yeah.
And he's getting time and a half.
Yeah.
Because he's traveling. So there's something to be said about the trades. We need to push for that. Things aren't going to fix themselves. Not everybody can do things themselves. When you try to get a house rehabbed or do a kitchen or something like that, it takes forever to get it set up because they're so backed up with work.
They sure
Shawn,
are.
you were saying you're having trouble hiring employees because nobody wants to do the work.
Nobody.
And we got to fix that. So
Yeah.
that's the unreal. We'll look into it, see what we can do. But if I was a politician and I would say more on a local or state basis to push things like that. Occasionally you'll see a story for that, but I don't recall seeing much of a call for more vocational training.
No,
it all seems to be training for college.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I will tell you this. I think I said it to you during the break, but a few years ago, when we were coming out of the financial crisis, the millennials were very delayed in buying homes.
Yeah.
And I suspect the ones who were buying homes were those who had trade jobs. Like at 23 or 24, they'd gone through their apprenticeship and they're making very good money. They don't if you want to learn a trade, most of the trade unions will pay for your training.
And you walk away with that without having that
debt.
Overwhelming college debt.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So
I remember we were talking about this one woman who I dealt with who had a degree in social work and had carried $250,000.
That's a mortgage.
$250,000 in college debt.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to diss college. There's most people who go to college end up making more money throughout their life.
Yep, sure.
But I'd sure like to
it's
see
not
the
for
trades.
everyone.
It's not for everyone, and I would love to see the trades stressed as a way to make money in this country.
And it won't stop until there's this switch in people's minds, and it's the parents talking to each other on the side of the soccer field.
Oh God!
Oh, what's your son do?
Yeah,
Oh, what's
what
your
college
daughter
they
do?
gonna go to?
Where are they going to school?
Yeah. Well,
Right?
you're absolutely right. Because
And
when it
it's
comes to
that
college, applying to
expectation.
college, kids would apply to 8 or 9. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And nobody values the trade. So you get somebody who answers that question truthfully. Yeah, my son's going to be he's going to become an HVAC technician. Well, fantastic. We need more of them. Absolutely. But
when I met Pat's son and was talking to him, I was like ecstatic to hear 2 young men that were doing that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. We need more of it.
All right. Enough of that.
Thank you.
Let's go on to the spotlight, Brad.
Yeah. So this week, I'm going to characterize this place as eclectic.
Okay. Can't wait to hear what it is.
Maybe eclectic on steroids.
Yes.
Paper Moon Diner.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever been to Paper Moon Diner?
I want to say yes.
It's crazy. Like I'm convinced that there was LSD involved in the design of this restaurant. But
Quite possible.
Shawn, have you ever been?
Many times.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
the best food, though.
They really do. They have great food, but mannequins covered with Matchbox cars and army men, Pez
For hair.
dispensers.
For hair.
Just right. I mean, it's
And there's a tub in the...
yeah,
Isn't there a bathtub in the front lawn?
yeah, yeah.
With a mannequin in it or
Right,
something coming
right.
out of the
And
bathtub?
yeah. It's crazy. All right, have you ever tried that? It's guilty pleasure. They have this. They have a bunch of stuff, but pancakes, French toast, shrimp and grits, omelets, salads, all sorts of things. Mom's meatloaf, a lot of things. They have this milkshake.
I
Dude.
love it.
The bacon milkshake.
Bacon.
Yes.
Bacon milkshake.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me
Hey,
tell you.
now I'm listening.
It's worthwhile.
There would
You
be
gotta go
peace
try
on
it out.
earth if all people ate bacon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so I love Paper Moon Diner. If you get a chance, check it out. It is an experience, so be prepared to gawk a little bit, but food is great. They are at 227 West 29th Street in Remington, right near the BMA, Hopkins Homewood campus. All that's right there. They're open 5 days a week, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. They're closed.
That's a sign of a good restaurant if they can stay in business being open 5 days a week.
Yes, they can.
And
yeah.
they've been in business
and it's been for a long time. They really have.
Yeah.
So they're open 5 days a week, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. They're closed Monday and Tuesday. Kitchen closes at 6 p.m., so make sure you get there early. They also have curbside carryout, so if you haven't been, definitely give them a try. They're at Paper Moon Diner on Instagram or papermoondiner24.com, or you can call them 410-889-4444. So check them out. Paper Moon Diner bacon milkshake. It's the bomb. All right, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Another one in the books.
Another one in the books next week.
Episode 10. Woohoo!
Next week we have some things to talk about.
Yeah.
I think we're going to do a deep dive into the loan programs that are available to first-time home buyers.
Great idea. Yeah, absolutely.
We've mentioned them. Like in the past, we said that a lot of people think, even in this day and age, that 20% down payment is required, and that's not necessarily. We briefly discussed loan programs, but I think we want to talk about them, the pros and cons of them, which loan program is suited better for which borrower.
There's a loan program out there for almost anyone.
Almost everybody.
Yeah. And some great products. And maybe we'll dispel some myths, too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be some surprises. Like, just to give a little hint what's
Yeah.
coming out, the FHA program was always considered it was more applied to people who didn't have less than perfect credit.
Sure.
Nowadays, with some recent changes in pricing from Fannie and Freddie and FHA, one going higher, one going lower,
May become much more advantageous
for some people. So we'll talk a little bit about that next week.
Excellent. Well, looking forward to that. Folks, if you want to listen to us, check us out on our website, www.berealpod.com. You can listen right on the site. Submit questions or feedback. We'd love to get some feedback. Let us know how you think we're doing, what you want to hear us talk about. You can also listen on any of the major platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Podbean, whatever. Your podcast platform du jour,
Whichever one you
want to
like.
use. So, Michael,
Yes,
somebody
sir.
needs to reach you to talk about the mortgage world. How do they get in touch?
Always best to call my cell or text my cell, 443-310-0012. Again, that's 443-310-0012. If you're listening to this on your computer and you feel like shooting me an email, you can do that. michael.becker@spmc.com.
Great, Michael. Thank you. If you need to reach me, folks, to talk about the home buying or selling process, my number, 410-375-7550, and email is brad@homesbyvesta.com. Shawn, one more time.
Yeah.
if they want to reach you just to ask a question about, hey, I got this crazy stain. What can I do?
You can reach me on my cell by 410-294-5114, or you can reach my email at Shawney, SHAWNEY 777 at AOL.com.
Great. Shawn, thanks
Thanks
again.
so much, we enjoyed it.
Fantastic
it was my pleasure.
information.
Had
Fantastic.
a great time.
Yeah, well, thank you. And we'll look forward to talking to you all again in the next episode of Be Real, the Maryland Real Estate
See you,
Podcast.
folks.
Try it.